Okay, today we'll cover the chain rule. I had started recording and realized I was not recording, so aha, so glad we caught that. So, we're going to define f and g as functions, okay? Then the derivative, this is one way to write it, of f composed with g of x, so an outside function and an inside function, is going to be the derivative of the outside, leave the inside alone, times the derivative of the inside. Okay? Once you get the hang of it, it's actually pretty easy. Okay? So let's do problem number 1. I know that in my notes I wrote as f of x. We could call h of x as the name of the function. It's okay. So let's say h of x is equal to 3x plus 7, the whole thing squared, right? Sure, you could FOIL it, but that sucks, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to identify the outside function. F of x is equal to, technically, 1x squared, right? And what we're going to want is to put the squared outside of a pair of parentheses. Trust and believe. Okay? I'm going to shimmy this over here. Okay. And we're also going to want f prime of x, the derivative, right? Because that's what it asks for. It wants an f prime, right? And the derivative of this is easy. It should just give you 2x, right? Easy money. Again, outside function, right? And its corresponding derivative. I actually recommend you write it out like this, so you have all your moving parts so you don't confuse yourself, okay? And now let's talk about the inside, right? The inside function is g of x is equal to 3x plus 7. I'm going to put it in parentheses, all right? Let's see. You want g of x, true, and you also want g prime of x. In fact, what I'll do for you is I'll write g prime in orange. And I will do this f prime in light blue, so they match. Matchy matchy is always nice. That. Right? Okay. Now let's take the derivative of g. G prime of x, this one's easy, is 3. Ah, okay. Now what we want is h prime of x is going to equal f prime, and then you're going to want to pop g of x on the inside, right? Times g prime on the outside. Sorry, inside is normal g, outside is g prime. Okay? Okay, we have all of our moving parts. Let's put them together. All right? So h prime of x equals, what is f prime? F prime is 2x, right? You really want, you can just kind of write it like that. Okay? So it's going to be 2 parentheses, and instead of writing x, what do we write? We write g of x, right? So what I'm going to do for you is I'm actually going to just write it like this for now. So you see where these parts are all going. Okay? And then on the outside, what do we have? We have this times g prime times g prime of x. But we know what these are, right? We know that the outside is going to be 2. The inside for g of x is 3x plus 7. And we know what g prime is. G prime is 3. For this particular problem, you can actually simplify it. So you can write this as 6 parentheses 3x plus 7. Easy money, right? Again, inside, outside, outside, inside. We got this, right? Let's do another example. Let's say we have h of x is equal to negative x cubed plus 8 to the 9th, right? Again, I'll write all your moving parts for you. F of x is equal to, there's a secret one here, 1x to the 9th, right? Which means we have f prime of x is equal to 9x, all of x, to the 8th, right? And then we have g of x is equal to negative x cubed plus 8. Put that bad boy in parentheses so you don't lose anything. Again, you don't have to, but when you start composing, you will. So do with that what you will. That means g prime of x, it's just a power rule, right? Is negative 3x. Yeah? Which means you have h prime of x is equal to f prime. So it'll be 9. What goes on the inside? This goes on the inside. Negative x to the 3rd plus 8. What goes out here? There's a 9 up there. Oops, sorry, an 8 up there. Ooh. Times g prime. G prime is negative 3x. And if you would like, you are welcome to write this as negative 27x times negative x to the 3rd plus 8 to the 8th. These two 8s are unrelated, okay? Unrelated. Let's do another example. Let's do example 3. H of x is equal, oh, not enough space here, is equal to negative x squared plus 1 to the 3rd, right? Okay, I'm going to have you do this, and I'm going to show the solution, so hit pause. So, if I were to solve this out, I would say the derivative of the outside, so treat that as a power rule, negative 3. What goes on the inside? What was already there? Squared, right? What's the derivative of the inside? 2x. Easy money. Okay, what if I give you something a little harder? What if I give you, actually, I'm not going to give you number 4. Give you number 6, right? H of x is equal to 19, 3x to the 4th plus 17, right? Again, the outsides just happen to be one term. You can have multiple terms. Or the inside just happen to derive out into one term, but you can have multiple as well. That's why parentheses are important, okay? How would you do this? I would say this is the same as saying h prime of x is 19, 3x to the 4th plus 17 to the 0 times the derivative of the inside, which is going to be 12x to the 3rd, which is 19 times 12x to the 3rd. Sometimes the chain rule is not what you might want. Sometimes you can just, I don't know, do the constant multiple rule. It's very stupid because you just discovered that it works. So, constant multiple, all it means is the derivative of some coefficient times f of x is equal to the coefficient times the derivative of the inside. Silly, isn't it? Okay, what if I gave you... Ooh, this one's fun. Give me number 7, okay? These all come from my notes, so please do all the problems in my notes, all right? So number 7 is the 7th root of 2x to the 9th minus 5, right? Oops. How would you do that? I would say that this is the same as 2x to the ninth minus 5 to the 1/7, right? F of x, which I'll do in blue. Oh, this is equal to h of x, of course. F of x is going to equal x to the 1/7. F prime of x, which I'll do in light blue. F prime of x is equal to 1/7 x to the negative 1/6, right? The 1/6 is in the exponent, so be very careful. Right? Okay. That means that g of x is the inside, which is 2x to the ninth minus 5x. Oh, no x, my bad. And g prime of x is equal to 18x to the 8th. Yeah. Easy money. Because then you can just say, oh yeah, derivative outside inside, h prime of x is equal to the derivative of the outside. Leave the inside alone. Leave the inside alone looks like 2x to the ninth minus 5 times the derivative of the inside, which is 18x to the 8th. Who cares what this is, right? What if I gave you, oh, this one's fun. If I give you number 8, what if I give you h of x is equal to the third root of 3x plus 8 to the 4th? You could do a double chain, right? You could chain out here and then change in here, but that's gonna suck. So I'm actually gonna ask you to write it as 3x plus 8 to the 4/3. Because now instead of 1 chain, 2 chain, 3 chains, it's just 1, 2, right? That means that you can derive the outside, subtract 1, and then leave the inside alone, and then derive the inside, right? And that should give you h prime of x is equal to 4/3, 3x plus 8 to the 1/3 times 3. Typically what I do is I ignore this, right? I ignore this piece. I pop that out, and then I subtract over here, and then I write that piece in, and then I derive this and put it here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, these are all reasonable. What if I give you number 9? What if I give you h of x is equal to 1 over 3x to the 4th minus 19? We don't know what to do with fractions. Or do we? Because you can just write this guy as 3x to the 4th minus 19 to the 0. Ooh, ooh. Not ooh. -1, -1, -1, I swear. Right? Ooh. Chain rule it. H prime of x is equal to the derivative of the outside, right? -1. Leave the inside alone. Exponent minus 1 is -2. Write the inside in, right? Derivative of the inside. That'll be power rule here, 12x to the 3rd, and this guy becomes 0 because it's a constant. Easy money. Or you can write this as -12x to the 3rd all over 3x to the 4th minus 19, the whole thing squared. Both are fine. What if I give you number 10, right? What if I ask for h of x is equal to 4 divided by x to the 13th minus 38 to the 7th. Again, easy money. This is the same as saying 4 times x to the 13th minus 38 to the 7th. Negative 7th. Again, inside, outside, right? The outside is f of x is equal to 4x to the negative 7, which means f prime of x is negative 28, because you multiply it down, x to the negative 8. That's the inside. The inside is g of x equals x to the 13th minus 38. G prime x is equal to 13x to the 12th. Easy money. Because then you can just say, oh, yeah. H prime of x is equal to negative 28. I'll write that in blue for you. Negative 28 the negative 8. Normal inside, so x 13 minus 38, right? Oops, I'm out of space. And then you're going to multiply by what? The derivative of the inside, of course. Times 13x to the 12th. That's it. Now you know how the chain rule works. Congratulations.